Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said the central government will conduct an investigation into the Kanpur train derailment incident in which over 100 people were killed. Addressing the Parivartan rally in Agra, the Prime Minister expresses condolences on the loss of lives. In the worst rail accident in recent years, over 100 passengers were killed and more than 150 were injured, nearly half of them grievously, when 14 coaches of the Indore-Patna Express derailed near Pokharayan in Kanpur. President, Vice President and Prime Minister have expressed heartfelt condolences to families of the deceased in the accident. Railway Minister Suresh Prabhu monitors rescue and relief operations in the Kanpur train derailment incident. MOS Railways Manoj Sinha visits accident site. Special train is carrying passengers from Kanpur to Patna. Medical assistance and food material being provided to passengers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced an ex gratia payment of 2 lakh rupees each to the families of the deceased, 50,000 rupees for the critically injured, 25,000 rupees for those with minor injuries in the Patna-Indore Express accident. Meanwhile, the Uttar Pradesh government also announced a compensation of 5 lakh rupees, and Railway Minister Suresh Prabhu announced an ex gratia of 3.5 lakh rupees for the families of the deceased. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches the ambitious rural housing scheme in Agra. The scheme aims to provide affordable housing to all those living below the poverty line by 2022. PM Modi also distributes allotment letters to 50 beneficiaries. Raj Mistris will be trained for building houses under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana for rural people. Speaking at the Parivartan rally in Agra, Prime Minister Narendra Modi says the scheme will be linked to Narega scheme. President Pranab Mukherjee said India will become a modern economic power in the world if the government's innovative schemes such as Clean India and Digital India are implemented successfully. Speaking at the 12th edition of CII Agrotech 2016 in Chandigarh, the President said as India is on the cusp of second green revolution, the country needs to learn from Israel to boost crop productivity by using modern technologies. Nearly 92 domestic and global players from 13 different countries are participating in the fair. The 47th International Film Festival of India got underway in Goa. Before the inauguration, a minute's silence was observed to pay respects to the deceased in the Kanpur train accident. At least 7 children were killed by rebel rocket fire that hit a school in the government-held west of Aleppo. News agency Sana said the rocket fire hit a school in the Furqan neighborhood and also injured at least 32 people. Government forces are currently waging a ferocious assault against East Aleppo, targeting it with airstrikes, barrel bombs and artillery fire. US President Barack Obama did in Latin America what he tried to do in Europe, tell worried citizens not to draw negative conclusions about the man he once called unfit to serve in the White House, President-elect Donald Trump. Obama has sought to soothe fears by pledging to ensure a smooth transition of power and expressing optimism that the president-elect would shift away from inflammatory campaign rhetoric once he faced the realities of the job. Mitt Romney, a moderate Republican who branded Donald Trump a con man, phony and fraud, during the election campaign, met the president-elect and had a far-reaching conversation on world affairs amid reports that he is being tipped to be the next US Secretary of State. After the meeting, Romney offered no hint as to whether he was offered or would accept a role in Trump's administration. Olympic silver medalist PV Sindhu clinched her maiden Super Series premier title after edging out Sun Yu of China in the finals of the China Open Badminton Tournament in Fuzhou. World number 11 Sindhu had come into the match with a 2-3 head-to-head record, but then statistics counted little when she took the court. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has congratulated PV Sindhu for her first Super Series title in the China Open. Chasing 405 for victory, England were 87 for 2 at stumps on the 4th and penultimate day of the second cricket test against India at Vishakhapatnam. Skipper Alastair Cook got out in the day's final over after scoring a dogged 54. At stumps, Joe Root was batting on 5 with his team needing another 318 runs for a win. Earlier, India were all out for 204 in the second innings. Reigning Olympic marathon champion Eliud Kipchoge of Kenya won the men's race of Delhi half marathon in a fast time but below the course record, while Ethiopia's Worknesh Degefa clinched the women's title. Kipchoge clocked 59 minutes and 44 seconds to cover the 21.097 kilometers distance. NASA has successfully launched the first in a series of highly advanced weather satellites that will lead to more accurate and timely forecasts, watches and warnings. The new satellite will become operational within a year after undergoing a checkout and validation of its 6 new instruments, including the first operational lightning mapper in geostationary orbit.